funds. They are a source of joy. A source of joy especially to those who more often than not could not await for their birth, but not to those who conceived them under forced and undesirable circumstances, to add salt to the injury while still teenagers. A cry of help from this group of young mothers who also fall victim of sexual assault is skyrocketing as they also wish to live their dreams. This is Walls of Relief. I am Marion Munyao. According to Abandoned Children's Fund, there are over 20 million homeless or abandoned children in the world. Mr. Awin Mukonyole, who is not only a servant of God, but also the director of Wings of Hope Rescue Home, is among those who are intentional about changing the narration.
Looking at the rate of abandoned babies, it was shocking and it really touched us. We asked ourselves, what can we do? Because according to the UNICEF statistics, that the mortality rate was at 1 out of 44 babies that were born every other time could die because of lack of care. So the question we did ask ourselves is, what in our small way can we do? At least even if we cannot eradicate this menace, to reduce it. We realized if you take care of the mother, then the baby will live to see old age. And so we narrowed down to taking care of homeless pregnant teenagers aged between 12 to 17, victims of rape and child sexual abuse.
Being a brother's keeper comes in handy. If it was not for the heartfelt role of the neighbors raising an alarm to local authorities, most of the girls at Wings of Hope will not have been rescued.
The neighbors will always raise an alarm to the local authorities. The immediate local authorities are the chiefs and the assistant chiefs. So when the chiefs get this information about the abuse, then they forward it to the children officers in their area of jurisdiction. So we get these girls through the various children officers.
Mrs. Mukonyole, a co-director of Wings of Hope, takes over the process as she is in charge of paperwork. She ensures that anything to do with ink and paper on the side of the girls, as well as the organization, is in black and white.
I make sure that we get the legal documents for the girls. I also ensure that Wings of Hope, as a children's home, has the right documents that the government requires that we have to run a children's home. Matters to do with the registration and getting the legal documents and getting into the research to see what is happening.
On arrival, the girls are welcomed with a session of psychological counseling after their medical report is acted upon accordingly.
These girls are supposed to be counseled because, again, most of them come here traumatized because of what has happened to them. Remember, we are talking about rape cases and child sexual abuse. Yeah, and some of them have not even accepted the pregnancy because they come here when they are pregnant. They have not accepted because they don't really believe that this has happened and it was supposed to happen to me. So they need a rigorous counseling session, and that one we give it a lot of consideration too.
And so they may blame themselves so much and have irrational thoughts. And so my main role as a counselor is to tackle those thoughts and make them see this other side, the rational side, and to relieve any trauma that they have experienced.
A 6-month period of mother-child bonding is scheduled upon delivery, after which the girls are enrolled back to school.
And after delivery, we give them 6-month period to bond with their children, get to know one another. They also learn tips of how to take care of their children. After 6 months, we seek to place them back in school. Because remember again, 12 to 17 years is supposed to be a school-going age.
Wings of Hope is an ideal home that is comprised of both male and female workers that become father, mother, brother, and as well as sister figure to the girls.
We have different genders. We have female staff, we have male staff, because again the roles are different. There are those roles that require a male energy. So these girls are safe. They have mother figures. They have big sister figures in the name of the staff members that we have here, in the name of the partners that we have partnered with, even in leading this particular and managing this particular organization. So it has all genders, just to make sure that the needs of these girls and their growth is taken care of adequately.
Money is the answer to everything. In light to this, Irwin highlights the main source of income is family, friends, and well-wishers.
Our main source of income currently is volunteers, well-wishers, and friends. They are the ones who support Wings of Hope in a bigger margin. We are praying God that one time we will get some donors who will stand with the organization.
Life is not a bed of roses. Mr. Irwin Mukonyole highlights that lack of funds is the main challenge that this great organization faces.
We are not very well financially that we can hire counselors and psychologists. Yeah? So mainly volunteers who can come in and offer psychological assistance, counseling. Finances too. These guys are in school. Yeah, school fees is our major burden for these girls. Rent is our major mountain too of this home where the girls stay. And then daily needs, medication of the babies and even the girls. Those are financial challenges that again we trust God that He can provide people who can also stand with these needs. And then foodstuffs and sanitary towels.
Inasmuch as the government has offered a helping hand to such organizations by assisting them to serve in a conducive environment, Mr. Mukonyole encourages the government to ensure that no rapist gets off the hook.
Our government has been supportive, I can say, in so far as maybe assisting these homes have a conducive environment where they can operate. These vice of rape and child sexual abuse, most of them legally are not handled as maybe we expect. Yeah, you find like most of the girls, the cases and the people who committed these offenses go scot-free because no one is following them up. Our desire is that as the children officers get these cases, they don't let them go just like that. If there can be a follow-up and make sure that the victims also are held to account, then it can be another way of reducing this menace and even stopping it.
The society is also advised to show more love and encouragement to the girls.
They need to be held by hand. They need to be loved. These girls need to be encouraged and in fact pump into their heads that your life is still as whole as it was. You can still achieve the dreams that you had.
Stigmatization, victimization, that is not the way to go as a member of the society. Please make them feel like they are still part of you and that they have not done any wrong, they are not sinners per se.
When you see these girls go through this situation, go close to them, embrace them. They need love. Actually what they have lacked is love. They hate even themselves. They need somebody to love them.
To echo Roy Bennett's quote, Wings of Hope looks forward to founding a primary and secondary school within their own premises.
Our prayer and our dream is that in the next few years, we should have a place, not a rented place like the way we have now. We should have a full-fledged home where the girls can stay comfortably. We should have within the home a school, actually a primary school for the girls. We should have a medical center. We should also have a secondary school within the same premises and homes for these girls and their children.
Development of the independent ladies is the aftermath intent for a girl who passes through Wings of Hope.
Our prayer is that by the time these girls are leaving Wings of Hope, they are going to live an independent life. They should have attained a skill, but we want them to exit as independent girls who are able to take care of their children and take care of their lives and even support their families wherever they are.
God's judgment awaits those who are up for abortion is the message directed to any girl who may be in this state.
You're thinking of killing that baby. You're thinking of taking that baby maybe somewhere and throwing it away. That is not the direction to go. and God will judge you against that. Keep that child. That is a God-given gift, even if the child came when you are not ready for it. Keep that child, seek support. That child is a gift that you will treasure in the coming days.
Speaking up and being strong is the ultimate way any girl who is undergoing through sexual assault should pass.
Be strong and learn to appreciate the blessing that they've been given, whether it came from a circumstance that they didn't choose or if it was for a reason that they feel ashamed about.
As they continue to narrate over and over again, they are able to release the tension and the anxiety that caused due to the trauma of the rape.
When the going gets tough, the tough gets going is a phrase held at heart by Anne, not her real name. The 19-year-old has managed to make lemonade out of the lemons the world threw at her when she was 4 years old after her mom abandoned her.
When I was 4 years, my mom ran away and left us, me and my sister. So we went to a children's home and I stayed there up to class 6. Then the children's home was closed because of some issues. And later I went back to my great-grandmother's place because she was the parent that I had.
As a result of lack of school fees, the aspiring air hostess put heart and soul into searching for her biological mother.
When I finished my studies in class 8, it was in 2014, she had no school fees to take me back to take me to a secondary school. I was forced to look for my mom where she is.
When the worst came to the worst, the 19-year-old opted to look for a job so as to make ends meet.
Life there was not comfortable. She used to drink. No, there was no food to eat, so I got frustrated. I was looking for a job at that time.
This went on for 2 years. However, it was in 2016 when Anne's life took a rougher road.
One of the women akaniambia ati a certain niece of mine anataka msichana wa kumsaidia kazi ya nyumba. Nilikuwa very desperate. Those people wakaniona mimi ni mdogo. I was underage, wakaona hawezi niandika kazi. Wakasema what you will do, you'll be a Muslim, utakaa na sisi na tutakutreat like a sister, lakini utakuwa maid. It was 2014, 15, 16. Year 2016, I got raped by one of them.
The teenager chose to remain silent about this affliction in order to avoid biting the hand that had been feeding her.
Na because walikuwa wamenisaidia for so long, so sigeweza kwenda kwa report, walikuwa wamenisaidia sana.
It was at this point where Anne opted to go to Nairobi, where she met a woman who was, quotes and quotes, willing to help her.
Nikapatana na good Samaritan, mama mwingine hapo. Kaniambia that atanisaidia as long as nitamsaidia kufanya kazi. Sa nikakaa hapo, but that woman hakuwa mtu mzuri.
Before she knew it, the gates of frustration were yet again opening up.
Alikuwa na plans zingine hivyo about me, na sasa huyo mtoto mwenye nilikuwa nimebeba.
Anne toyed around with the thoughts of recruiting to devil worshipping as all hopes were gone.
Nikakuwa so frustrated, nikajaribu kuingia devil worshipping. It was 17 years.
Despite the struggles, her visit to Happy Life in Aya Center marked a new dawn for her.
I went to a certain home there in Yaya Center, naitwa Happy Life. Venye nilienda hapo, nikapatana na woman who knew the director of this place. Akasema there is this woman, she's taking the girls who are left, na wako underage, na wako ready kurudi shule.
Indeed, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Not only did Wings of Hope lead her to salvation, but also worked with her during her second and third trimester in her pregnancy.
Venye nilikuja hapa, kwanza nikaokoka. Hizo mambo ya kuingia Illuminati, mambo ya Muslim ikaisha, nikaokoka. Then nilikuwa 3 months pregnant, nikakaa nikazaa. Nikaenda course ya computer hapa Roy Patterns. Then later nikaingia this year form 1.
Psalm 9:10 is the advice Anne gives to any girl living her past.
Never to give up and to trust in God, because Kama si Mungu, I will not be here, I will not be in school. It's only God who have helped me. So the best thing is to trust in God and to love Him and to never give up.
As we speak, Anne and her son are in the pink of health, safe and sound. Wings of Hope is truly a sigh of relief for both Anne and other girls who share the same story. Hope is indeed a key element in the journey of life. Though your beginning may be small, your latter days are surely great. For CTN Feature, I am Marion Munyao.